Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening process. And a common question that I would imagine every one of you has or may in the future have if you're just starting out is, why does this awakening seem to take so freaking long? The awakening is fairly, on many levels, it can be quite challenging and unpleasant. And it's only common for us to wonder, well, when does it ever end? When do we actually get to reap the rewards of this constant struggle through this self-discovery process? So that's why I made this video. I'm going to give you guys 5 different reasons why the awakening can take a little while. Number 1, quite bluntly, it needs to. The more you awaken, the more you'll realize why it needs to. Because to expand the way we are requires a lot of psychological integration and redefining of all aspects of our identity and the world in which we live. And if it was to happen too fast, I don't see how a lot of human minds could handle it. I don't see how my mind could have handled it. And the further I get, the more I change, the more I realize why it had to take the length of time it has. Because again, our minds have to keep up the pace with our ever-expanding consciousness. Number 2, and again, you're going to find all this out on your own, many of you already have, is not many of us realize just how extremely programmed and conditioned we are to be unawake, to identify with me, I, the ego self, the ego structure in this competitive, hostile environment. From day one, the moment we started to feel the energy of our parents and this planet, it started to form. This ego structure started to take hold, and it's in a sense all we know. Most of us don't have memories prior to coming here, so all we know is what we've learned, and what we've learned is to be a conditioned, little, isolated, separate little old me. And the awakening is breaking you out of that. But again, it's such a well-established way of going through life that it just takes time to choose to let go enough for this other broader state of consciousness to sort of take precedence in our day-to-day existence. Number 3, and this is sort of tied in with number 2, most of us have far more unconscious baggage that sort of compels us, again, to hold on to that egoic state of consciousness than we know. It's unconscious. We don't know. But as I've awakened, I've been quite surprised and almost disturbed at how much shit that I've been lugging around completely unbeknownst to me. But your awakening will reveal that to you, one little piece at a time. But over the years, you start to realize, wow, there was a lot there. There's a lot of layers to these issues. You might find yourself going through issues over and over and over again. It's not that you messed up the first time, it's that you're constantly seeing them from other angles, giving you more clarity, and which will finally reach a certain threshold where you can truly transcend and let them go forever for good. But there's a lot. If you can look around, this place is no joke. It's a very crazy, negative sort of place we live in on Earth. And it's not at all conducive to the awakened state. And as a result of going through life completely unconscious, we've, just as you would expect, have accumulated a lot of experiences that have caused us pain and contraction, and no one told us an effective way to deal with that or how to place it in a proper, more enlightened context. So as a result, we harden up. And so we're not constantly experiencing this pain of whatever experience you had that caused it. We, as a coping mechanism, have learned to suppress and compartmentalize this pain, these painful memories and experiences and emotions. Otherwise, we would go nuts. But the awakening starts to force them up to be relived. And again, there's a lot. Number 4 is we're kind of going through, and this is just, I can only do my best with using these definitions because I don't claim to know the empirical actual literal definition of these things. I'm just sort of doing my best to describe what a point I'm trying to make here. So in a sense, the modern day spiritual awakening at this time now is sort of also coinciding with a planetary ascension. So it's not only are we becoming more aware of who we are as a connected soul to all that is, but at the same time, the planet's vibration is raising. And aside from this consciousness expansion, along with it is coming new information that is drastically different than what we have been taught and conditioned to believe. And the ones who have been coming into this sort of information, a lot of you have, know what I'm talking about. We have been essentially fed a completely and yet complex fabrication of what really exists and how things actually function. And as we awaken and ascend, we're becoming more aware of just to the extent that we've been misguided and led down a phony rabbit hole, so to speak. And it can take some time to psychologically integrate this awareness of how things actually are. So it has to do with a lot of new and sort of like challenging, hard to swallow information simultaneous to your stereotypical fundamental consciousness expansion. And if this is all just to happen at once, it'd be way too much for us to handle. Otherwise, it'd be too much. And the further you go along, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. Lastly, number 5, most of you know that you came here to help. And it's more helpful to sort of pace yourself and not get too far ahead of the game. Because most people are not even remotely close to being able to see the world the way you do and know the things you know. And if you got way too far ahead, then the gap would be too big and we wouldn't be doing them much good. Right now, there's a lot of bridges, you could say, a lot of in-between levels of clarity and consciousness for other souls who have nothing to really grasp onto to sort of pull them into this more awakened, ascended, and enlightened state. Again, there needs to be people of all different stages, so to sort of like bring everyone along. I hope that made sense. Yeah, you don't want to get too far ahead, man. It's we all pretty much came here to help everybody, and it's best that we're going through at this pace. And lastly, just to leave you with another way of looking at this, in a sense, it's not taking a long time at all. It's actually going by incredibly freaking super fast. Not from our linear perspective, implying that all there is one human life. From that context, yeah, say it takes 5 years, whatever. In the context of a whole human life, that's kind of a long time. That's a big chunk of your life. But we don't only get one shot. We don't only have one life. That's not true. We're eternal. We're eternal beings. We're eternal souls. And in the context of eternity, it's going by very, very, very quickly. And the way we're going about it is highly unique and desirable from a soul's perspective to come and experience. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that gives you something to think about, at least another way of looking at this impatience that we all feel. I get it. I understand. And again, this is just my own really my own conclusions based on my own journey that I suspect a lot of you will relate and resonate with. But again, I don't claim to know why it takes the time it takes. This, again, is just my own perspective on the matter. So For what it's worth, I hope it helps you guys. I thank you for your love and support and kindness. And you guys share my videos all the time, I can see. And you take the time out of your day to comment and let me know that you got something out of it. And I just want you to know I appreciate all the gestures that you guys show me. It means a lot to me. And I'm very touched and happy that I can help you guys. So with that, I will close. Have a great day. Peace.